Hi, it's me, Lachey. I'm here in Spain enjoying this beautiful weather, sipping my Spanish wine. Right now, I have been connecting to this wine called La Rioja. Like, I really love the way it tastes. The red one is probably my favorite. There's a vineyard out here that I might explore at some point, but it's so good. So light, crisp. But today I wanted to do a quick Q&A about my traveling journey. I received a few questions and I decided to answer them. So let's start with number one. What inspired me to start traveling solo? Well, I don't have any children. I don't have a partner, so it's kind of self-explanatory of how I would actually travel solo. However, I've always had this thirst for travel, and Europe has always been a place I wanted to go to. So, when I was presented with an opportunity, I just kind of went for it, and it was like perfect timing. So, I would say yeah, it's always, I guess what initially inspired me is when I was like 18, I took a trip with my friend and her family to Miami and then to the Bahamas. And ever since then, I've always had this thirst for travel. And what connected me to Spain specifically is their quality of life. I really enjoy how they work to live, like and not live to work. They really embody just slowing down, with your community, being with your friends, eating, drinking, talking, and I just really wanted to be a part of that community. So I would say that's what inspired me. Number two, what was my biggest fear before this trip and how did I overcome it? Ooh, I would say outside of me not knowing if my dog was going to come overseas, which I do have a video on that, I would say there was a lot of content on Black people being mistreated in Spain. And that was something I was more so concerned about. I'm not going to say I was fearful about it, but I was very concerned about the treatment that I would receive. So preparing myself for that, I didn't want to respond aggressively if I did come in contact with that. Granted, I did have a few experiences where maybe I was looked at a certain way, or maybe a comment was made. But all in all, I've had more of a positive experience from the Spanish. They seem very nice, very open, very engageful. My neighbor, I mean, all my neighbors have stopped by or said something to me, invited me over. So I feel like I've been having a pretty great experience overall. The good outweighs the bad. So in the times that I did experience sort of some negativity, I just pivoted. I sat there, I thought about it, like who do I want to be in this moment? And I didn't want to match their energy, so I didn't. So when they had an attitude, I just was like, oh, okay, well, enjoy yourself. Enjoy being mad by yourself. Or whatever the case may be, and I just let it go, honestly. So that's how I handle those obstacles. All right. Number three, how do I handle being alone in new cities? Oh, good question. That's a good question. I never, I would say, I always say I never really feel alone because I'm very sociable. I'm out meeting people, getting to know people. To know me is to know that I'm a bit of a social butterfly. So if I feel like I needed to get out and be a part of a group event, I have no problems saying, "Hey, where are you going?" Or asking them like, "Hey, like, what are some things that I can do in the city? What do you suggest? Would you like to come with me? If I'm in the mood to actually hang out with that person or whatever the case may be." There are apps online, so if I wanted to be a part of a tour or some type of social engagement, I mean, there are tons of events online that I can just be a part of and pay for. So if I was alone and if I did have those feelings, because feeling lonely it's normal, I would say. I think those feelings come and go as well. I would just go about looking up some social engagement groups. Okay. Number 4. What advice would I give someone who's nervous about being single and traveling? Ooh. What advice would I give? I feel like emotions is just a part of the process. Whether if you're nervous or embarrassed or scared or excited, I think that emotions are going to come. But I feel like if you are feeling nervous, just try not to allow that to stop you from what you really want. And just to remember that feelings come and go. And there's something to learn about in those moments. I always feel like when we're feeling an emotion, our body is trying to tell us something. So when you're nervous, what comes to your mind? What are you nervous about? I would say kind of talk yourself through that to understand where it's really coming from. That's what I would say. And that was the last question. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's ever anything that you want to ask or that you have questions about, please feel free to message me. I want to be very transparent on this channel and really share my experience in my journey. But until then, I'll see y'all on my next vacation. Bye.